Yo, welcome back to the podcast. If you are listening on Apple, click that subscribe button. On Spotify, click that follow button. That's right. I say it at the beginning of the podcast now, yo. Psych! I know some of you motherfuckers weren't making it to the end, so I changed that shit up, yo. That's what the fuck the analytics have to teach us, you know? Get them while they're still there. Yo, I'm sitting here today with my boy, Clif Knight, back on the podcast. How are you, brother? Thanks for coming through.
I'm pretty good, man. Thanks for having me back. It's, it's good to... This feels like a normal thing, you know, amidst everything. This is like a back to normal type of thing.
This feels great for me. My last two podcasts were Zoom, so to have someone physically in the room, so much nicer, bro.
I mean, yeah, I think, I don't know. I think I had it and I beat it, so I think I'm fine.
You had COVID?
I don't know, bro.
Don't be fucking saying that, bro. You explicitly said you didn't when I gave you that pre-podcast screening.
I think I had it and then I beat it. I don't know. I'm kidding, man. I don't care. Like...
COVID, yeah, dude. I just went to this physiotherapy place I gotta go to.
Yeah.
And yes, they already have like their COVID screening, like a fucking form, you know, where you
everybody
check this box and sign and confirm that you didn't have COVID.
Left the country.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, do I have to bring?
There was
my
one
passport?
box. Did you make eye contact with anyone who had suspected COVID? I'm like, damn, yo, I'm not sure.
It's like pink eye, man.
Yeah, right. It'll spread quick.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Because we were moving in the middle of the lockdown. So, like, my moving date, which has been settled since, like, January. We knew we were moving on this date.
Yeah.
And then we're in the middle of the move. And the very next day, they're like, oh, lock it all down. And we still had, like, a bunch of stuff at the other place.
Did all your movers, like, honor it?
We only...
Or you did it yourself?
We got one mover.
Okay.
And they only came on the first date.
Black dude?
All the big shit. No, two brown guys.
Oh, yeah?
And
these are just like small... it's the small guys that are the movers, right? They're small dudes.
They were pissed, man, because we locked in like a good price.
Oh, yeah?
Because we booked it like way back when.
Yeah.
And then, because we looked at everybody, we wanted to do a second day with the truck, and it was like double the price. And we're like, oh, well, I guess
It's got to all happen today.
Yeah, we're just doing back and forth with our tiny car for 2 weeks. So,
did you have people that come out and help you? That everybody dodge. You know, everybody disappears when you got to move. You know.
Well, it was the building. It was the building that had that fire. So like we were.
Which building is that? What building?
This is a building on Parliament Street that had a fire like 2 years ago. You remember? I was talking about this. I did a big story. It was literally the day after I got back from Edinburgh. My whole apartment building had a fire on the 9th floor.
Yeah.
And it damaged the whole electrical system. So everyone
what floor were you on?
Out. I was on the 17th floor. I was fine.
Yeah.
But it's just like we had to leave because there's no power, there's no water.
So how does it work with insurance and like rent? And
our insurance is fine. They gave us back our rent.
Was it 1 month you were out or how long?
Dude, we were out for 18 months.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
So you were...
We just
so you never
got
came back.
We just got back.
What do you mean you just got... So your apartment was furnished, but you weren't legally allowed to stay there?
We weren't allowed to go back, no. And they took everything out of the apartment. They put it into storage. They repainted the apartment. They were supposed to renovate, but all they did was repaint it. And then they brought us back. And they left all of our shit in the middle of the apartment, so we had to unpack all of that, in addition to all the new stuff that we had to buy at our new apartment. And and then it was in the middle of COVID, so all this extra crap that we have, we can't sell any of it because nobody wants to buy shit.
Nobody wants to.
So we threw out something like
mattress.
1,400 pounds of stuff.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yo, 18 months, no one paid rent?
At that place.
For 18 months, it took them to fix the electrical system, and no one's paying rent. How do you survive that? This is the fuck?
I mean, it's owned by this big corporation. You know, they've probably got like a sick insurance plan on it, but their insurance didn't take care of us. We had our own renter's insurance, and that's the only reason that we fucking survived at all.
So what did renter's insurance give you in that scenario?
They reimbursed us 80% for a lot of equipment that equipment and like things like clothes and bed sheets that you can't keep after a fire because smoke damage. Right?
Oh, okay. But even though you were on the 17th floor, there was no damage.
Some of our stuff, like, it's just smoke damage is what it was. And then some of the stuff is like, and they reimbursed us some food. They reimbursed because we had to stay in hotels for like a month.
Yeah. What about the other 17 months?
Dude,
what'd you do for that a year and a half?
It was scrapping, bro. It was scrapping. And then we stayed at a friend's place for a little bit, and then we finally managed to get our own place. And we were paying double the rent basically for a year.
So now you're back at the original place that burned.
Yeah.
It's all cool.
It's okay.
It's a new rent, or they're honoring that old rent?
They're keeping. Oh, we have a contract. They're
Gotcha.
keeping us to our old rent.
Okay.
Yeah, they did
It's rent control?
They did the 6% increase or whatever. But
Yeah, so
we're
rent
like,
control.
Yeah, we're still paying half of what we were when we were up in Greektown.
So good news, I guess. I hope.
It's pretty good news. It's just it was annoying that we had to do that in the middle of a lockdown. And now that we're all settled, like neither one of us can work in the same way at all. So
Are you
that's
both
pretty good.
collecting syrup?
I am. She has a separate like plan thing going on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because the 2 syrup household there. Ooh, you guys are getting. Ooh, you're getting takeout. You're getting sushi every
right
2
now,
days.
I bought my first new computer. I've never bought a new computer.
Bro, I'm
before.
paying my credit cards off. Bro, I'm like almost debt free, just dropping Serb
Exactly,
money
just
in.
drop
I
Serb in there.
had mad money in my Visa.
Yeah.
And it's almost all gone from Serb.
Yeah, that's all that comedy living.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
Same way.
Remember, I went to Cali a couple months ago, right before COVID?
That must have been expensive.
I didn't have the money for it.
Yeah, of course.
It was a free flight, and I crashed on friends' places,
Yeah.
so it was cheap. But when you do that, you drop money on restaurants,
You
like
just
because you're
wild
like,
out.
oh, I didn't pay for the flight, I didn't pay for staying.
You hop in an
Everything
Uber,
is free. Yeah,
easy.
exactly. Ubering 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Every coffee 2-3 times.
Did you
Each
do-
coffee
you
is
did some mics there and
$5.56.
stuff, I
Oh,
bet,
I did
yeah.
shows, mics.
Are they paid as well, like New York, or is it all free?
I got paid. I got paid for some stuff in San Francisco. I got hooked up.
Oh
but-
no, I mean like in New
LA?
York, you have to pay to do the mic.
Oh no!
don't
I
do
never
that?
saw that in San Francisco.
okay.
Very Toronto like. Like if you saw a mic here in Toronto that you're paying to get up, you're like, this isn't New York. Calm the fuck down.
This is New York. You're
Yeah,
not
there's
there.
8 mics here that
you only
don't
see
have
that. I did because I used to have my show at a poetry venue for a while. The Poetry Jazz Cafe, shout out. Even though
Probably don't. Did they exist though?
I think he's trying to come back. He's got his own money, so I'm not too worried about him.
Word. Okay.
But they have a poetry open mic that they do every couple of weeks. People pay $5 to $10 to get on that stage for 3 minutes of poetry, and I was blown away, man. When I came back
Some
one
New
day,
York shit, man.
it really is, and you don't really see that anywhere in Toronto for poetry, music, comedy, nothing.
You did Edinburgh. You did Edinburgh 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When you're in Edinburgh, you're running your own show.
Yeah.
Once or twice a day. And hopping onto other people's shows.
Yeah.
Are there mics or is it all just shows?
It's mostly shows. When I tried looking for the conventional mics, all of the venues that hold the mics currently have an Edinburgh show.
Gotcha. Everything stops for that month.
Just
for shows.
Edinburgh's taken over.
Gotcha.
During the festival, but you'll get on some shows where that feel like mics for sure. So yeah.
Oh, no one is there. They barely barked it.
There's a few venues in the city that are just not good for foot traffic. You
were telling me there's a beaten path of like where the vast majority of like the volume of tourists and all these people are, and then
places
there's like
with like good food, places with like a reputation, and then there's some places that didn't participate in the festival until recently.
Okay,
that are trying to build.
They need a couple years for people to know it.
Yeah.
And that's where you ran your show, right?
This is my show. Because it was the
like, remember Diagon Alley in Harry Potter?
That's not even there, bro. Diagon Alley's popping.
Yeah, no, off, like Diagon Alley.
Nocturne Alley.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
My venue was.
I got a show over here. Comedy.
Yo, what was the worst part? It was like the festival expands every year in like size, right? But what I got was I got a hotel that wanted to finally be a venue, and they have like a convention space in their basement.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, we're going to hold comedy shows here right now, or like any kind of show. And it's right next to the Stand in Edinburgh. It's right next to one of their bigger comedy clubs.
Oh, they have a stand too?
Yeah, they
just
have
like
a
New York?
stand. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They have a stand just like London, I guess.
London has a comedy store.
And so people would come and they would see me, and I'd get them my flyer, and they're assuming that my show's gonna be at the stand. Right? And so they show up there, and I'm like, this is not that show, but I guess I'll stay here for that.
You're like, no, it's the laundromat 4 blocks over.
No, it's literally like there's one gate here and another gate. It's very easy to get confused. And the stand just looks like there's something there.
It's the spot.
And the hotel just looks like there's nothing there. It looks like a private residence.
Yeah.
So I barely got anybody in.
Yeah, like a peephole and shit. Right, like I think someone lives here,
and you have to go down 2 floors and through so many doors. You have to go across a courtyard. People aren't doing that. It was a 65 seater, and I think my best day I had like 25 people, and I made like 50 pounds on my best day.
Yeah, everyone's like, you're gonna lose money. Your first time to Edinburgh, you're gonna lose money.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, cool. I dodged a bullet, bro. You know, I think I said it on the podcast before. Me and Conrad, and we submitted a show, but he got nicely rejected.
Yeah, that's. Whoa.
But then COVID hit, so look at you,
so
Edinburgh fucking
that's
association.
That's a karma
That's
thing.
what you get. Yeah, exactly. They've denied greatness, and this is what happens.
I tell everybody to go to one of those big festivals, even if you get a chance. Like, even I went to JFL and I paid for my producer pass. It's like an industry pass.
Yeah, I saw the lanyard, right?
Yeah, you get the lanyard. It's like $1,000 all in because I bought mine late. I guess if you buy it early, it's like
you dropped a G on that.
Yeah, and it totally was worth it, man.
Do you go backstage or
no? You don't
like in green rooms.
No, you don't get that. You don't get that. You get access to all the parties. You get free drinks and food at all the parties. There's like 5 parties.
This is at Montreal's right after
the big it's the
the gala.
It's the gala week.
So once the galas are done, there's parties every night, which I think you told me it's all industry people, right?
Yeah.
So you having paid to get in there and not having performed, do you still have like cachet to speak with these people, or are they just kind of like you pay to get it?
I think
you're
so.
Not with media.
I think there's some people that, because there are people who are just independent media. Like I saw there's a girl from here in Toronto. She just does her own articles and she buys it every year and she just goes, she interviews
because she expenses it.
Yeah, she talks to people and stuff like that. And a lot of them are just like, yeah, this is part of my job to come here and rub elbows with people that I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
I booked some stuff from being there.
Oh, legit. Is that the Boston? Is that how you got Boston?
I got Boston. I had some stuff in North Carolina that I didn't get to go to. Chicago.
You're a great networker, bro.
This is my game because I realize I'm not that funny.
I've watched me cut nothing else but that. Clif Knight confirms it on his own.
Just soundbite.
The Immigrant section. Yeah, check it out.
It was good because a lot. It's just like dealing with industry here at a certain level. Obviously, there's some people who are just like, oh, you're Canadian, I'm not gonna deal with you because there's no point.
What? Why?
Because they have to get you across the border. They have to take liability for you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
There's
you got to be popping off.
You really got to be. And if you're not on stage at a gala or something like that, or at one of the shows, one of the homegrown or whatever, the new faces, people kind of like don't really know who you are. But there's a few people who are just like, yeah, you stood up and you talked to me like a real person for 10 minutes and you're asking for a spot at my club. And I put on live shows every single night, 320 days a year. Yeah, I can have you out to come do one show. There are some
very reasonable.
There are some club owners and producers who are just like that.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah. What I want to ask is, who was the talent, or who was it when you went that was getting swarmed by people? Who killed
like new talents?
New or exist? I mean, if like Chappelle is there or some shit.
Chappelle was there. Chappelle was there. He wasn't supposed to be there. That's what he said.
That's what he does. That's his whole MO, right?
Yeah, Neil Brennan was there.
But besides the unfounded people, the new faces.
Some of the people, one person that I met that I do remember.
Was Rami Youssef there that year?
I didn't see him, no. Okay. I didn't know about him back then, so I wasn't checking.
Gotcha.
One person that I do remember is James the Third. He caught my eye because he's very
That was his
interesting.
name?
His name, he has like a long name and he goes by James the Third. He's in that show Astronomy Club.
I've never even heard of it.
It's like a sketch show. It's like one of those random sketch shows.
What network?
It's on Netflix.
Cool. Okay.
And his comedy, he's like an improv style, very Chris Sandiford type guy.
Oh, okay. Like,
yeah. Dude, and he was funny. I just stood and talked to him. He was an interesting guy.
Dude, when I went to LA, I ran into Chris Sandiford. Huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah. How funny is that? Because I was crashing at Seema Safari's place.
Okay, yeah.
And he was there because he was opening all weekend for Craig Robinson.
Whoa.
Who he met at Comedy Bar.
Yeah, at Comedy Bar when he came. That's sick. That's actually fucking sick. That's what I'm waiting for shit like that to happen consistently because it hardly ever happens to Canadians.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure part of Chris's thing is he has representation too.
Yeah, but he's super talented.
For sure.
So it's like, he's there.
There's that, but like, also going to both JFL and Edinburgh, it matters, dude.
Did he do Edinburgh?
No. I went and I spoke to a lot of people. Like I met Jimmy Carr's manager.
Okay.
And he's just a really like nice, quiet guy.
He even does one-liners?
No.
Yeah.
No, he's just a regular dude and he likes to eat poutine. You know, and a lot of them are like, there's a lot of people that are super talented, but we need to navigate the legal space And a lot of artists can't do that themselves and shouldn't. You shouldn't do that yourself.
Oh, absolutely not, bro.
Right? So
I'm an engineer, and I attempted to do that myself, and was rejected at the border when I tried to apply for a visa myself.
yeah. Not just applying for visas, dealing with things like distribution rights for your content.
Oh,
Dealing-
yeah.
yeah.
You're really gonna fuck yourself up trying to like
And
independently.
a lot of
oversee
places
it.
will gladly just fuck you out of whatever you do, but a lot of places are just like, nah, I don't need you coming back to sue me later. I want you to have some representation before I deal with you. Not only does that say that you're legit, but it also makes my job easier.
Absolutely.
Right? So, and I had a nice long talk with a few industry people that were like, yeah, we'll take a chance and just bring you out. We got to pay you under the table. And some other places was like, if you're not across the border, I can't touch you. It's our company policy. Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I get that.
It's a huge legal cost, and it's a huge time thing. Too.
It's a great time thing that they have to deal with you. They got to teach you everything.
Now they're doing communication with you, and they can't. I don't want to say exploit you, but they can't use you for
they can't
mutual financial gain.
Yeah, they
for
can't
a
talk
long time.
about you as an asset.
Yeah,
they have to talk about you as a person,
as a prospect,
which is
totally different thing.
Is not worth it if you're in. If you're
it's like saying patent pending all the time. Patent pending. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
patent? It was patent pending.
Patent pending. Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I love that. Yeah, that comics, like when I saw Nemiroff on Conan, and he killed it. Did you see that performance?
I did. So I had to.
Dude, he killed it. And
Nick
I was
Nemiroff, he's talking about Toronto comic. Did Conan.
It was such a risky performance, which is like his vibe.
Because he did his alt stuff.
It's super alt, and it's not something you ever see on TV. Much less, of course, from a Canadian.
Yeah.
Usually Canadians have two vibes. We have angry white guy or like slightly dumb white guy is usually the Canadian, right? Persona when it comes to stand-ups representation. If you look at like when they get on, we have guys like Nathan McIntosh, right? That's our big claim to fame. Like right now, I'd say Nathan McIntosh and K-Trev.
Okay, like as far as America's concerned.
Yeah,
right? But then we have Mike Wilmot.
Mike Wilmot and Mike McDonald, of course, if you want to go old school.
And then Jim Carrey if you're gonna go.
If you go old school, yeah. I think one of our next up guys really, and I'm rooting for him, Sterling Scott for sure.
Oh, dude, you want to, bro? When I was, this is so funny. It's all connected. When I was at LA, same thing.
Yeah.
Chris Sanford, run into him. We're talking, hang out with the guy a little bit. Craig Robinson paid him way more than.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make X.
Yeah.
And Craig Robinson gave him 5X in his pocket.
Holy
on the side,
shit.
4X.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sick.
And I think I've said the money before, but either way, I'm at the Comedy Store. I'm walking into the original room, and it's Sterling Scott outside talking to some of the people, and I forget who he was. It was Sterling Scott, and what's his name? He's a dark comic. He's white. He's one of Canada's top guys. He's older. White dude. Kind of looks like Eminem. What's his name? Fucking.
Dark comic.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know.
Jason Rouse. Okay.
Oh,
It's
Rouse.
Sterling Scott,
Yeah,
Jason
yeah.
Rouse talking.
And it looks like Eminem.
right. It's
With the
connecting now.
hat.
It's connecting.
I get it.
Jason Rouse, Sterling Scott talking outside. I didn't even talk to them. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm not
just
like
see
on
them,
a first name basis with them or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've met them, but I'm just like, it's so funny. It's a weirdly small community.
Yeah, it is. I love when that happens. Like when I went to New York for a week and I was just bouncing around and I ran into Ryan Long, had just moved there. Jen McAuliffe
At a
was
club,
living there.
or where'd you run into him at?
We were at, was me and Anna Maria went to this like film festival thing to just like poke around. We were trying to shop the Apartment 205 idea.
Okay.
And we did a little bit of networking. We got some interest from Comedy Central, but they weren't really on board with the idea of the improv comedy show, on like a live improv comedy show.
Oh, okay.
Even though
they wanted that Chappelle format.
Whose Line's been a thing forever. You know.
Oh well.
It wasn't Whose Line style.
Yeah,
you know, it was a friend style improv show, right? And then we ran into Ryan doing something else. You just see, random Toronto comics.
It's
there,
cool to see. You feel way more connected than you actually
it
are.
feels so good.
Right?
Yeah. You go there and name drop some people.
Right?
That we here in Toronto are usually like, I don't expect you to know who this is. Like even you'll go to Montreal and there are some like bomb Toronto comics that they won't know about, and vice versa. right? And so you cross the border and they know someone you know, that feels like you're in some sort of secret society a little bit.
Right? Yeah, 100%. And there's something about the comedians. I was talking to Nima just about this on the last episode. Comedians have to maintain a much higher level of humbleness and modesty than actors. As actors progress in their career, they get treated more and more like gods.
You got to be larger than life for
what
acting,
I mean?
because that's part of the job.
But comedy, regardless of, even if let's say this, Dave Merhesh, for example.
Yeah. Huge personality.
He made it out of Canada, got all the stuff. He's working in the States consistently. He's won a Juno Award, right? Like I'm actually trying to have him on the podcast once he's back in Toronto. But the point is, he came and did my show at Plus Time. When we did that show, we hit him up.
Yeah.
We're like, it's $10. Come do 10 minutes. And they're like, I'm there. I'm there. You know, you're not going to act. I feel like actors, once they hit a certain thing,
they're like,
they have to keep their environments. Their environment has to correspond with like where you proportionally are in this hierarchy.
You got to be pushing for elevation in acting. Yeah.
But in comedy, you got to be modest, like regardless. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like they'll do an open mic. Like
how do you deal with a little bit of that? Because like I've always had a little bit of trouble dealing with it with comedy, where it's like someone offers you an opportunity, and you know, objectively you think about it and it's not really worth your time. But like, just like you're saying, you're just like, no, I got to take it. It's almost like, you grab every opportunity that comes to you, and you just, you keep it humble, you keep it pushing, but also like there's an overload, you know, at some point. Have you ever felt something like that?
Oh, 100%. When it's like, I'm not going to name names, but if someone's like, come do my hour and a half out of town show, I can't give you any gas money. It's 7 minutes, and there's almost never anybody at the show.
Audience,
for the years, I'd be like,
yeah.
My MO is to never say no, because everything I ever learned from comedians, we got to be gung-ho, we got to be obsessed.
You never know who you're going to meet.
Flower-eyed, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, you're like, I'm dropping 25 on gas. I could go and do this 7 to 10 there, but I got 7 to 10 2 spots here tonight. They're going to be open mics, but they may have a better turnout than what this show is going to have. Why spend all that time on the road?
Or I could just stay home and film my own video or something.
Exactly.
Like, do some research, do some writing.
But I've really split my time up into like the day I'll do stuff, and the night I'll keep the night open for like truly stand-up opportunities. But every now and then I'll take a gig like that, like something that costs you money. You got to go all the way out of the way. The only reason I'll do it is because, I haven't left Toronto in a minute.
Right now, for sure.
You know, I can't be doing, like, I've been doing book shows and mics in Toronto for 5 weeks now. I haven't left once. I gotta leave. And calibrate this shit.
And also,
even if, you know what I mean?
To see if something works.
Me money.
Yeah, something works outside of the city.
Exactly. Because we're talking, once you leave outside of the city, because I realize how, like,
it's very different.
When I went far up north with
did you go to
Peter White,
Thunder Bay,
and Dylan Gott? No, I went to some like retirement area, 4 or 5 hours up north. Not that far, not like crickets. But I realized that a lot of my jokes are almost like trying to do like. I realize I'm really like a Chappelle wannabe. I mean, that's who. You know, everybody like tries to be like the comic they love. Like in that beginning, you. And then you slowly develop your own voice.
You find somebody that you're going to build off of.
So sometimes I feel like, I'm really trying to make a smart point in this town where all they want is for me to acknowledge that I'm the only black person in 100 kilometers. And I'm trying to make this layered, like, bro, man, at the end, I remember, man, I bombed. It was dual headliners. Peter White, Dylan Gott. They're each doing 35 minutes. I'm hosting. Off the top, 10 minutes, 5 between.
Oh, I know where the show is, actually. I know where the show is.
I bomb hard. And on the way driving back, I was like, bringing the race stuff up really felt like a layup. It felt like a cheap thing to do, as if I was like, going back into my clamshell. You know what I mean? Like being like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like
you're trying to pass yourself off as this comfortable thing for them.
And then
not you.
But I have that in me, but I just thought that was the weak thing to do in that moment. And they're like, bro, and I bombed. And they're like, bro, that's all they wanted. All they wanted was for you to comment that you're the only black person in the room. The only, like, all that stuff, what I thought was like, yo, I'm not gonna go for the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go for the low hanging fruit, get the laughs going, and then bring them on board and hit them with your stuff. I was like, I'm gonna do this common stuff all the way out here with these retired.
That's Sudbury.
It was just stupid amateur move,
dude. I call it.
But if you're in Toronto, the point is, if you were in Toronto doing comedy nonstop all the time, that's what happens.
You get desensitized.
You gotta leave the big cities to realize, yo, you're overcomplicating it. Just be funny, calm the fuck down. If your material's not working, ditch it and just go in live in the room.
Dude, I had the exact experience. I call it splashy jokes that make a splash.
Okay.
Because it's like, I don't know why I have this analogy about it. You ever watch Olympic diving?
There's no splash.
And there's no splash, right?
Yeah.
That's the comedy that a lot of us want, to get it that perfect. And people who appreciate that precision, they're going to laugh at how smart you are.
How little splash there is.
How little splash there is.
That's a good analogy.
Whereas if you go and you make an absolute fucking mess
belly
of it,
flop. They want the belly flop.
That's funny. I'm actually laughing at the thing I see, not the work that went into this. You know what I mean?
That's so true. I was out there in the boonies, bumfuck Egypt.
They don't even
trying to do the perfect dismount, and all they wanted to see was a cannonball.
They wanted to see you fall.
Cannonball.
And you're writing that line sometimes, like, when do I just fail and make it funny? You know what I mean? Versus when do I want to present a point and make it funny?
And I told that thing to I told that to Paul Thompson as well.
Yeah.
And he told me the exact same thing. He's like, bro, there are some dumbass jokes that it would shock you if I did them in Toronto, but they murder on the road.
Yeah.
And you got to realize the road is not Toronto.
Yeah.
When you are in Toronto, you are in Toronto. And so the only value I find in going to Hamilton or going to fucking Simcoe to do a show is to just be like, yo, is this shit funny that I'm confident about over there? I'm paying money to drive there.
Yeah.
It's not a paying gig. I'm just trying to calibrate.
Trying to go see what else is out there. You might see somebody that brings up, like, I'll watch a lot of bad comedy, man. I'll go to like mics here.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's no such thing as a bad mic, but there's going to be mics where traditionally there's not a whole lot of value in performing here. I'll go there and I'll watch other people pull off their first set.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. And I will write tags for their bad jokes. And I'll sometimes give it to them. Like, if I know the person, I'll give them a tag.
Just as like an exercise in your head?
Really, just to be like, and sometimes one of those tags will knock something out of the cobwebs for another joke of mine.
That you have.
Yeah.
It's just being creative.
It is.
Lubes up your whole creative process.
Dude, one time I went to Buffalo, and Buffalo's like, a lot of the, like, upper Buffalo, a lot of comedy there is black comedy.
Okay.
But like black American comedy.
Yeah, okay. Like chocolate rooms.
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Rooms. Like Donnell Rawlings.
Yeah.
Where he would kill it, you know?
Yeah, right.
The Donnell Rawlings
and I
circuit.
thought I had it in the bag with like my Caribbean shit.
Because you thought you were coming. I'm giving him that Nubian 8 minutes. And I'm going to kill.
And they were not feeling it at all. Because even at Nubian.
Because it's Caribbean heavy in Toronto.
Yeah. Not only that, but at Nubian, there's still, like, you go to Nubian, there's still a heavy presence of white people and brown people.
Depending on the night. Like, some nights it's 80%. Some nights it really is 50-50.
Some nights, right?
Yeah.
But there's still like, but this room was like, the only white person there is the bartender.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was still trying to make
And they went to prison. So they're like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I was still trying to make him feel comfortable, but the rest of the room was like, what's this fucking, weekend wannabe motherfucker coming here talking about jerk chicken? What is jerk chicken? Crab legs, motherfucker. That's what I want.
Was it a club or was it just like a bar that ran
we
the
went
show?
to one bar and then we went to a club. The club received a lot of stuff different. I did a different set at the club.
Yeah,
I did more formed jokes at the club. But like the bar, which is supposed to be like this romp room of comedy, and people were doing belly laughs for shit that's just funny, not jokes.
Yeah, it's more attitude. We were talking about this too.
Yeah.
In the States, with black, your attitude has to be clear.
You gotta bring it with your chest.
Whatever, exactly.
And
whatever it is.
Nubian teaches you a little bit how to do that, but they like the Toronto comedy palette still wants good jokes.
Absolutely, yeah. Exactly. That's why, and that's to tie it back to my booing. The booing didn't happen until you were there. That night,
I was there. Yeah,
you saw the booing. The booing didn't happen
until you gave up.
Till I gave up.
Yeah,
till the chest deflated. It was at the end when I was like,
it wasn't your jokes. People were on board with your joke, but they were just like,
the confidence was getting shaken, like, because I was in my mindset, like, it's working. I'm tricking them, and then as I'm thinking this, the space between like the setup tag, the setup punch tag,
and
are growing.
And I've watched you a lot, and I saw like, I think it was one part, like a middle tag didn't get a laugh that it always did. And you like stumbled right on it, man. And I was like, no, keep going. Like, no, man, keep going.
That seems so distant. That was like 2 years ago.
I was watching from the comics corner because I took a little picture of you right there. I was watching the comics corner. And the same thing happened to me the first time I was on because I led with, I had like a grammar joke as my opener for the longest time. That Mufasa Salam Alaikum joke.
Yeah.
Right? And it'll kill in a smart room because of what it is. It's part pop culture and part religious sensitivity, right? But they don't care about that for your opener, right? And
it has to be about you, and true, honest, right off the top.
You got to bring who you are, not what you're saying. And so after that joke got a little bit, and I was like, all right, let's go back to some Caribbean roots right here. And I just pulled it off. I had an ace in the hole, and then they liked me, and I was like, okay, cool.
Dude, I feel like I got knocked out by an opponent, and I've just been trying to rebook another fight. Round 2. I hit Kenny up like 6 months ago. 7 months ago. Now, like last November. Oh, you know what it was? I wanted to wait for 1 full year. Yeah. And that's what I did.
Okay,
So nothing happened, obviously, because he had like 2. He did the 25th anniversary one, and then COVID hit.
Yo, dude,
and then I'm sure pissed. I'll do it when it all starts back up.
I was so pissed. COVID hit. The March Nubian was going to be the showcase.
Yeah.
And I was on that.
Dude.
And I was just like, fuck, because I was going to do Vancouver.
I was on the showcase for Yucks. Yeah. March 31st, I had a showcase for Yucks canceled.
Man. Yeah, everything's canceled. And I mean, not to say that, COVID could have waited 2 weeks or something like that, and then we would have gotten something from those showcases, because even people who are in the industry are getting nothing right now. But I still would have liked to do the show, get the video or whatever, have someone give you an okay, have people actually see you in that prime. Yeah. Because now I imagine all those schedules are out the window for everybody.
100%.
For like the next year.
Gone. Yeah. They're not going to rebook it. Comedy has to start fully, like it'll trickle in, but once the moment starts where it's like across the board, we're back up to speed, everyone's running their thing, then 3 months after that, do I expect a possible reschedule? And that may even be that might be
really
hopeful,
optimistic.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think because I'm doing a lot of online shows, a lot of online mics. There's a group all for mics, for virtual mic. I did a mic in Australia a couple nights ago.
I can't do that virtual stuff, man. I can't bring myself to do it.
I enjoy it, man.
You enjoy it?
Yeah. Because
how do you get feedback?
A lot, like if it's Zoom, people turn on their mic and you can hear them laughing.
But don't they have TV on in the background?
Usually, if the host is good, the host will mute people who aren't like respectful of
so you can make it work, but it needs a lot of like involvement.
It needs someone paying attention. Yeah, really. And I mean, that's what the host is supposed to do.
Who does comedy?
Yeah, someone who understands. I'm seeing a lot of people who I know are good at comedy doing pretty well on these, with new material, with old material, whatever. But I'm also seeing a lot of people who are like, oh, this is my second set ever. This is the only way I could have tried comedy because, I was nervous. I couldn't leave the house. I work, I have kids, whatever. Right? And some of them are good. Right? Some of them are good on the virtual show. Yeah. And so now the question is, if you have 6 months to a year of virtual training and then you come back to the real mics, what's really going to translate?
Exactly. Is it like, is 3 months of virtual training equivalent to 1 in real life?
Maybe
like what's
not.
The conversion?
Because I think, because we know a lot of the work for
any
comedy.
virtual help?
I think so. I think it is. Yeah,
because if you're not overcoming stage fright at all, just imagine a year of cultivating your virtual.
Stage fright's the one thing. Waiting. A lot of comedy is about you waiting to get on the mic, waiting to even get in the room, waiting to get on the list.
There's 2 hours around every 5-minute set.
Yeah, exactly. That you have to work around, the traveling that has to be done. All of those barriers, when those come back into play, because we understand those, just like you said, I'll drive 2 hours out of town to do a 7-minute unpaid mic because I understand what's involved.
It won't be a mic, that'll be a show.
Or something,
to get up on stage.
Yeah, because I understand what's involved and I understand what I'm getting out of that.
Exactly,
right?
There's value here.
Whereas a lot of them won't know the difference, and it's going to be a sticker shock that it'll be like, I can't just do 10 shows in my city every week. Probably not, man. You probably will have to leave the city. So a lot of these people, they might be funny, but are they going to do the work of being a comic, which is different, The
only good thing though is like if you are doing virtual, if you're developing an act virtually,
you're getting an audience way faster. is what.
Not only that, but you are jumping in and out of so many different geographies. I'm assuming because it's online, there's no barrier.
Yeah.
That you can't really. You can do topical, but you can't do local level ever.
You have to avoid.
Really hard. Yeah, you have to really develop evergreen
Americans
universal stuff.
Americans get to do.
Okay, within
stuff.
America, but you're saying Australia.
Yeah, Australia.
If someone in Australia is watching this, New Zealand, England, America,
from, not Sri Lanka, Singapore.
Yeah,
because they have 2 clubs there that I was trying to go do, and that guy's running a virtual room.
They're like, "What's the deal with the leader?" And then someone just,
"Oh no, dude, you can't." But
even at his house.
I was trying to go, and there's like a whole checklist of things that you need to be aware of before you go to somewhere like Singapore.
Yeah,
you cannot,
Singapore is not that bad.
It's not that
Muslim,
bad.
so I feel like I can just show up and be fine.
It's not about how people are with you. It's about like the structure of the country. So like gum is banned.
Oh, I know about that.
Yeah.
You spit gum out, it's like a fucking capital offense.
Yeah, exactly. You can't litter. Which is great.
Is good, yeah.
Great, things like that. Certain phrases, of course, are banned.
Fuck the leader.
Yeah, things like that. What's with inequality, guys?
Yeah, gone.
Right. So
gone.
Yeah, you gotta really think about not just your content, but your attitude about things, because you're invading their culture. I think about it like this: you're going somewhere. It is your job to understand what are going to be the cultural faux pas or anything that you might trigger. I met this one comic. He's a Scottish comic, and I met him in Edinburgh, and he said he went to Malaysia to do a show.
Okay.
And he has this one joke. It's just like this kind of tubby white guy, right? He's this one joke where they call him the Winnie the Pooh of comedy. And you wonder why, and then he raises his arms, and that pulls his shirt up so you can see
his belly,
button.
Yeah. And he got rushed.
He's like, I got arrested.
Oh yeah,
I got arrested in Malaysia for that. And I'm like,
what was the charge? Like, was it easy to get out?
It was easy to get out because he had no idea, because he was a comedian, because he was a UK citizen.
Like all the combination,
all of the privileges came together to save him.
Yeah,
but it was just like literally, you got so lucky, man. Like
that's so fucking
and he
funny.
couldn't do any shows. He had to leave immediately, pretty much, and that was it.
Yeah, dude, I used to work in China just for a little bit. I would do open mics.
Yeah,
but like all the communist topics were just off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're off the list. They're blacklit. There's like black. You don't really see how much privilege we have in Canada and America. That there really is. I could go on stage and be like, fuck Trump. And in fact, it's so hacky to say that at this point. Because it's
not
so
even a joke
beaten.
anymore.
Yeah. It's so beaten to death. But there's really nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, especially with what's happening right now with Black Lives Matter protesting everything.
Yeah.
This is a time we need comedy the most.
I think so. I think a lot of people are fine because most people are complaining, we can't joke about certain things. You can still bring those jokes.
You can joke about it, anything. Just do it well.
You got to do it well. It's got to be a good joke. It can't just be technically a joke. It has to be. I think what people are looking for right now is comedy to bring awareness to the inequality is going to get praised more because it's more relevant. That's what comedy's always been.
Exactly. Shining light on the underdog or the minority or the fucked up thing that we just walk by and don't look twice at in everyday life. Homeless people, whatever.
I posted a thing on my Instagram, and normally what I do is I post a video every day. That's normally I post one video. That's all I do.
I see you out there. You got on that TikTok and you going hard, boy.
I'm trying to think.
You're not following
Cliff. Dude, I got it from you. That's what it is. Check me out, Cliffy's so funny. You gonna find it. And
it'll be plugged at the bottom of the video. You know this. It's been done.
I posted a book that I read. I think I told you about this the last time I was on this podcast. Was Baratunde Thurston's How to Be Black.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah,
I told you exactly. And the book, and I like to find books and then reread them and find more context over time, right?
That's how I deal with it. That's what I do with The Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Season 3 to like 9.
Yeah.
You keep figuring stuff out.
Yeah, you see more because now you already know everything that's coming, and now you're able to plumb the depths of what you didn't understand the first time.
Yes, exactly.
I posted that, and I posted a link to it, and I was just like, and a lot of people were like, is this a joke book? I'm like, it's written by a comedian, but it's not a joke. You should totally pick it up.
It's called How to Be Black?
How to Be Black. Yeah, and it's, if you have Kindle Unlimited or whatever, you can get it. I think it's still in my bio.
Is it like sarcastic or what's the tone?
No. It's really
informative.
It's very informative about black experiences by these couple of comedians. There are some white people in there for perspective and context and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But it is written by a comedian. It's written in a comedic style.
Yeah.
But it is very informative. I'll give it that. And from that, I picked up another book, White Fragility. And that one is more for white people. That book is a book for white people, but it can also teach black people how and why is it so uncomfortable for white people to talk about race, because they're never,
because undertones of guilt.
Not only that, is the system is designed for them never to view themselves in a racial context. They never have to do that. They see themselves as normal and everyone else as other.
Yes.
And even for us, even for me and you coming from a different place where we are normal, right?
Because we have that. Before you came here, there was no like you're black, you're white.
Not really.
You're just Guyanese. You're Sudani, right?
Exactly. I'm a mixed Guyanese guy. That's the most racial that things got in my
But
life.
I was Sudani. So there was no race. And then I come here, it's you're black.
Yeah. And you're a certain black.
Yeah, exactly. So now you got to find an identity within that.
Yeah, exactly. White people never have to deal with that, at least in North America.
Unless they go to Sudan or vice versa.
And even then, they still, it's that same American thing. They go to a foreign place and they say, why are all these foreigners, why don't they speak English? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I think if people have the open mind to travel to another place, like you're thinking about like a fat Minnesota family going to Jamaica and going out of, or like Jamaica, they speak English, but like,
but they don't understand them. That's the thing.
But let's say even Sri Lanka or I don't know why the fuck they would, or Mexico, they're speaking Spanish. Like learn fucking English.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not how that works. But people who don't, non-resorts, white people who go to alone, who go to Guyana, that go to fucking alone. Here and there or whatever it is. Ghana's like first world now.
Oh, Ghana,
well, I said not Guyana, but Guyana's fucked. But still, go to Ghana, go to Ghana, whatever it is, South Africa. That's weird. Dude. Actually, South Africa's a weird one.
South Africa's strange, but it's still developed, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying like, white people can have a weird mentality.
Oh, for sure.
Can leave Toronto and go to South Africa, and it can still be weird.
Can still work it
but
out,
if you go leave Toronto and go to Khartoum, you can't be like, why aren't these people speaking English? Because people go like, what? How do you even? You can't even have that thought unless you're fucking. I don't know,
dude.
How gone you are to have that.
This is kind of off topic, but I used to work in an electronics store back in Guyana. And we had these 3 Ethiopian guys come in one time. They're trying to buy a phone. And for whatever it is, Ethiopians will flex, man. They will flex. Like if they have money, and the ones that I've met have had money, like serious money back home, they will flex. They came to our store and we're touting low prices, great service and stuff like that. They're like, another store has the same thing across town for like $200 more. Why is theirs $200 more and yours is $200 less? And we're like, we just have a better price. And they're like, no, it must be a better product. And they leave and they go over there and get it. My boy in that other store calls me up. He's like, did you guys send them here? And we're like, no.
It's the same product?
It's exactly this. It's precise. It was iPhones. And back home, all these things, like anybody gets to charge whatever they want. It's
gotcha. It's Wild West. Yeah.
And these guys are like, no, it must be better. Yours must be fake.
Dude, that's hilarious. That's actually like a marketing thing I learned one time. Yeah. It's like
premium pricing. Yeah.
Premium pricing, man. Like one time.
We were talking about the sales.
There was a case study that I saw one time where it's like someone wanted to make, I forget if it was a vacuum cleaner or a boombox or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But anyways, they developed it. They assessed the market and saw that this is the tier of budget. This is the tier of standard. This is the tier of premium. If we price it here within the range, we'll sell the most.
Yeah.
And it didn't do well at all.
Yeah.
And then like some consulting firm came in and was like, dude, fuck that. You can't just be like, oh, we'll be here. And they just went and gave it 3 times that price.
Yeah.
Of a clean like $199 or something, and it tripled the sales.
You're explaining the sales mentality of Beats by Dre entirely.
Okay, exactly. The $399.
What we're wearing here, the M20s, these are what, $70, $80, something like that.
$59.99.
There you go.
It's the same frame, I'm assuming.
Dude, and I used to be a huge audiophile, like 5 years ago. Huge, and I did so much research, and a lot of Beats by Dre is an old Sony driver technology that they put a nice shell on. It gets some marketing about it, and it's not really any better.
It's tied
in some cases, it's actually worse.
Yeah,
you tie it to another thing. You make it a status symbol, and something
it's like the Porsche design phones.
Yeah,
you know about it. Like that probably pisses you off more than anything.
The Samsung premium phones, like the $2,000 crystal phones. You ever seen those?
That's just for Asian like fucking diplomats and like Those
The
never
screen
sell
is
in North
made- the
America.
screen
That's
is
always
made
an
out of
Asia and
crystal,
Africa thing
and
for
the
rich
back
people.
the back is gold and blazoned.
Like
with
you
some-
never
yeah.
see a person on Wall Street with that.
No.
That's always an overseas rich person thing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it's very
crystal,
much,
like the Arabs and the Asians.
My
and shit like
friends
that.
who go to Dubai.
Yeah,
told
exactly.
me about that.
You know, it's so funny. Like
Yeah.
in other parts of the world, there's a premium, like jewel encrusted level of tech.
Yeah.
That's cool. Jay-Z's not gonna pull out an iPhone that has diamonds on it. That's
doesn't
not
care.
cool. That's not a
No.
thing we do
Not-
here.
not in North America.
But
No,
yeah,
we
but
don't
like
want
an
that, yeah.
Audemars Piguet or like a Patek Philippe or something like
Yeah,
some ballin' ass
exactly, yeah.
watch. That's
That's
cool.
what we want, yeah.
But the phone is gonna be a regular ass iPhone.
Yeah.
It won't have a case on it because he's Jay-Z,
'Cause who
right?
gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. That's our version of it.
I
is
got
no
insurance for my insurance.
Case.
baby.
No case for the newest phone. That's
No.
the most flex our rich
people
will do.
always bag on me. People is just because I have my phone with the
That's a brick, bro.
with the
Jesus.
battery case, bro. This has just saved my life
Look at
so
this
much
shit. You
over
seen
time.
this?
It's,
Look at this. It's thick.
It's
This
so
is like a
thick, yeah.
fucking moleskin notebook. I don't know if you ever held it. 200 pages, room in there for a pen. Dude, this is the thickest thing
I love
I've
it,
ever
man.
seen.
I love it. It saved my life so many times because.
Well, you got shot right here in the thigh.
No,
People
wait,
keep
it's just
shooting
like
you.
there's one time I was coming home on a bus from Boston, from that same Boston gig.
Yeah.
And the point on the bus was broken, so I couldn't charge the phone. And I have two of these battery cases, and I just kept my phone alive the whole like 22 hours of this fucking bus ride. Was the only way I could do it.
Was it a megabus?
It was Greyhound. I learned my fucking lesson. If your bus ride is more than 6 hours, just take the plane, man. Just fucking take.
No. See, San Francisco to LA
Yeah.
is an 8-hour bus ride.
Really?
I say that's the limit.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. That one was just maybe it's
If
just
you-
Greyhound. It was just so bad. man.
22 hours is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would never consider anything over.
Well, it was supposed to be 16 hours, and the bus broke down twice, and then we had a huge delay, and I was stuck in not Syracuse, Iverness or something
Oh,
in
that's
New
even
York.
worse. That sounds like
Yeah, like
that's
no,
like a suburb of Syracuse.
yeah.
or
There
some
was
shit.
nothing. You had the bus station, which was closed, by
Yeah,
the way.
and then a Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts and the Tim Hortons were inside. They had a Tim Hortons.
Oh, that's 'cause it's
And
near
then
the border.
You go outside, and there's nothing.
Yeah,
It's
barren.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I could fucking.
It was just like
I
this
just went
was-
to Kingston 2 days ago. It's the exact same thing, dude.
Kingston.
Exact same
When you see
thing.
Kingston from that other highway, you see the whole city. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it, but we went to Queen though.
Yeah, there's a highway that's like a little higher up. You can kind of see the whole city, like encased a little bit. It
Kind of
looks
like
so cute.
broad view, like in Toronto.
Yeah,
in that
you can
broad
like
view
you can see over, and you can kind of see the whole city, like just what it is. And you're like, yeah, the city's 3 streets, and that's what it is. You know
Yeah,
what I
it was
mean?
fucking. We drove by the Via Rail like station, and then it was barren around.
Yeah,
I was like,
that blows my mind because I'm not used to that kind of space. You know, like in Guyana, we have that kind of space, but it's just because there's nothing there. But like you'll have a ton of space, and then you have a mini development right here in Canada, and then a ton of space, and nothing's happening. You know what I mean? Like when I drove up to Thunder Bay, which was like a 17-hour drive.
yeah,
right.
Fly, bro. Just
That
fly,
it
bro.
was a beautiful drive. I'll tell you that though.
I've actually heard that.
Yeah, it is a beautiful
never
drive.
done
We
it.
drove because we just got the car. I took my fiance. She had family there. And we wanted the car while we were there. So we're like, yeah, we'll drive. And it was nice. It was really nice.
Cool.
But there was just stretches, man. That was just... And our car is not powerful enough to make it up some of those hills, too. Like on a certain gear, I had to gear down.
Yeah, put
the
on that low,
You
boy.
put on that low in that second gear. And I was like scared, man. Because I was like, we break down out here. There's nothing. There's no cell service. Nobody's driving by. There's one porta potty in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
That's about it. We passed a diner 3 hours ago. You know, like
Yeah.
we're fucked. And
I mean, you're fine, but the lady, yeah.
yeah, she's not gonna have a good time. And we made it to Thunder Bay, and then people were like, "Yeah, there's like another 12 hours north that you can go in Canada and still be in Canada."
Oh, that's like the fucking
be in-
Hudson Bay.
still
and
be
like
in
the
Ontario.
island. Yeah,
but they're like, yeah, people live up there. People are there. Yeah.
that's like right under Nunavut or some shit like that, right?
None of it's the other side, but like, yeah, that's what's happening here in Canada. We have so much land space, and we're all congregated here, you know, hugging America, basically.
Dude, you know that bit I do about the Sudan?
Yeah.
I was just thinking that's how you know fucked up Yukon is, because they say the Yukon.
Oh no, dude! I did the exact bit where it was just like my Caribbean friends and family always ask me how cold it is, and I'm like, Toronto's cold, but you don't understand how cold Canada is generally. Yeah. Canada's so cold. There's some parts they didn't name properly. because they were like, this is going to be territory 1.
Yeah, right. We'll get back to this
Territory.
shit.
It's so
Once
cool.
we get a reading.
Because if you name it, somebody has to go put up a sign. And
right?
No one wants to do that.
What's funny, when you look, if you put up Canada, like a map of North America, and the lines between Canada and the States, you see how low Toronto really is.
Yeah.
Southwestern Ontario, it's amongst the lowest section of all of Canada. Is Toronto, right?
Yeah, it's Midwest.
It's pretty much Detroit. Exactly. I don't know if it's latitude or longitude is the one parallel to the equator.
The final tag on that bit. Sorry, I gotta finish it. The final tag of that bit was just like, it's so cold up there in Canada, they don't even collect taxes from those guys. That's how fucking cold it is. They don't even bother. They don't want the money.
Zip code is just like 4.
The zip code.
4.
No, the zip code is in degrees.
Yeah, right. It's just like it's
Minus.
negative 100. We will not be auditing or pursuing this matter.
That's fine.
It's not in the budget for CRA this year.
There's a part of I just listened to this on a podcast. There's a part of Canada that was bought up by a cereal company and given away in a like box top sweepstakes like back in the 40s. They bought up like 30 acres of Canadian land, and
like way up north.
Yeah, and we're giving it away to
like
Americans
$200.
for I think it was Kellogg's. It was one of the cereal companies. It was just giving away like
land,
one square inch of Canadian land.
That's
per box
so
top.
funny.
Yeah.
And now what are I don't even have a game in a cereal, and I don't know how long. What do you get? Like a little model plane? What are you getting? They don't put anything
no, they don't put
cereal.
anything inside because it's unsanitary.
It's post 9/11 now, and post COVID.
Yeah,
9/11 and COVID. Nothing is
all you
cool,
get
bro.
now, you get logins to stuff online. Because I remember the last thing I got was I got a Hot Wheels promo code for a car in the.
It's always an online thing.
It's an online thing. I mean, that's the safest way to do it, truly, and that's what kids want anyway.
But I want a thing.
That's what kids want these days.
I know, but I want a thing.
Yeah, I love the Kinder Egg stuff where you like assemble the toy yourself. But I don't know,
I haven't had that in a minute.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta ask you. We gotta talk about it. What are your thoughts on what's going on?
Dude, right now, I mean, we touched on a little bit right now because, like,
first of all, what do you think about that? This is actually interesting. The Chauvin, what's his name? The killer?
Yeah.
Robert or
Derek
Chauvin.
Yeah.
So he is now upgraded to second-degree murder,
and the other guys got charged with. They didn't say what.
Yeah, aiding and abetting or something like that. They're arrested and charged, but. I was all mad on my gram saying like, yo, this guy needs to get first degree. This guy needs to get first degree. Because he does. Because he just killed in cold blood.
I think the big difference is first degree.
But someone reached out to me, Jameson O'Donnell.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, apparently second degree is way easier to convict.
Is easier to, and that's the thing.
It's way easier to wrap this thing up
with the American justice system, man. Because I like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts where they take down stuff like systems that are created to convict people. And some of it is so serpentine that like, what sounds better and what sounds more fair doesn't end up working out in terms of like how, like, this whole second degree.
The lawyers really got to play it in a way to get maximum jail, but that may not, as doing like to get this person the harshest sentence in the least amount of time. It may not be giving him first degree. It may not be charging him with the truth.
Yeah, it's like when drug dealers get charged with tax evasion.
Yeah, right? Something to take them down.
That's the big crime. It's just like, we got to take them down for this.
Because we can't prove any of that stuff.
To get them in the system and stuff like that. That's kind of what's happening. I mean, I watched the video. Some people keep sending me stuff about how that video is fake and George Floyd is still alive and all this deep state George Soros type stuff.
I did not hear that take on it, but now that I've heard that take on it, I'm 100% sure that Tupac is dead. Now, I guess no matter who dies, how clear the evidence is, there's a group of people in this world that will always believe that it's a fake, that something is fake and the person's still alive.
That I was trying to do a little bit of research on, because people will jump in my inbox all the time, and I kind of welcome it because I want it. Sometimes people will come with ignorant shit, though. This one person was like, it's kind of funny how all these riots are happening in the middle of the Obama trial that's happening right now. Like, that's what's actually happening.
Obama's on trial?
It's not Obama. It's his administration that's going through an investigation or something like that. And they're actually sifting through more of Hillary's emails. Like, it's a lot of that type of stuff. So I'm doing some research on what that actually means. And of course, there's not a lot of information because the media is caught up in this. So I'm like, I could see that. But this also definitely needs to happen, though. So I'm gonna trade him off. You know what I mean? As a person of color in North America, I'm gonna trade him off.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's crazy how most of Trump's communication and tweeting and all that stuff is so clearly anti-black people,
dude. It's so
clear. It's like he's so clearly with just the mass whites.
Yeah,
like in the text.
There's
these thugs are doing this. Like he's not like.
There's a thing. Remember Roger Stone, one of his like correspondents or marketing
who's like in
PR
prison
guys?
now?
Yeah, he's in prison now. Roger Stone has a long career of doing exactly this sort of like media gaslighting is what I call it. It was just like telling a clear lie, like provable, instantly provable, and standing behind it, and that just that sends everybody crazy. You know, because people are like mad. They're like, "You're clearly lying." He's like, "Am I?" You know, that's my opinion.
They're pulling that old white guy move where it's, I cannot recollect.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Epstein documentary?
No, I'm staying away for right now. I'm
so
giving
Prince,
it some space,
one of the princes, Prince Charles or Prince Alex or whatever the fuck, that like
Philip, I think
Prince Philip, that was involved in the whole thing.
Yeah,
bro, they interview him. They're showing him the picture of the girl that he raped and like Epstein's girlfriend who lined everything up. Epstein's girlfriend lined everything
she's
up.
The pimp, eh?
She lined everything up, and she's just out there denying all allegations because the system is fucked like that. If she was a black chick, Epstein couldn't have been black with a black chick. You know? They would have been fucked a long time ago.
Exactly.
But she just denied. And dude, this guy, they're holding the interview. Is like, is that you? It's like, it appears to be. It's like, why were you there? It's like, I cannot recall. I do not have any memory.
And they have no evidence beyond that.
Exactly. They're just like, it's her story versus his at this point.
It's the playbook, man. It's the play.
I cannot recall why I was there.
Yeah.
I mean, the picture is clearly me, but I can tell you one thing. I did not have sexual relations with her.
The one thing that gets me so much is like, I don't know. I go a lot of places. I meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, I shake a lot of hands. I take a lot of pictures. I can't remember them all. You know, that sort of. And I'm just like, wow, this. But we already know there's no cap on someone being a piece of shit. There's no cap that they're a piece of shit, but there's no capacity. There's no set capacity on, like, Roger Stone's whole playbook is create confusion and then deny. He like denies that he ever said stuff that they have on camera. That's what Trump's doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
And there's a whole subreddit.
It's on camera.
Yeah, there's a whole subreddit that called Trump Criticizes Trump, where it's tweets from him during the Obama administration, and then they pull it to him doing exactly that thing right now that he's criticizing, and it's just like, he's like, nah, that's not me. I never said that. Just you can fake these things on the internet, you know, and
like lining up contradictions, right?
Yeah.
Because Trump will say what needs to be said.
Wild out of pocket shit. Yeah, what needs to be said.
Whatever in that moment is. Of course, he's going to stand pro police. Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people are talking about why are politicians standing behind police departments and police unions is because
the 15 years they put in to get to the point where they all, because they're all trying, they all have like their own little
think
levels.
about it like this though. This is the political, because I worked not in politics, so I worked in politic administration for election
Sounds
administration.
Like the same, yeah.
It's not, but it's close. Is politicians need help from unions, because a union could have 15,000 people.
Oh, right. So that's like, instead of knocking on 15,000 doors,
you just get one endorsement from the head of that union, and you have those 15,000 guys plus their wives, plus their kids, plus their brothers, all on board with you right away, right? That's how you get elected. And then, of course, those groups are going to...
the police are all unionized.
Those groups are going to donate to you, so you'll be able to allocate parts of the budget to them.
Yeah. It's scratch my back, scratch your back. It's all of it is like that. But it's crazy the level that this brotherhood thing goes to. Like, the time it took for us to actually arrest this guy, we had to the amount of time,
there had to be an outcry.
The amount of time, because it's all them protecting. There's such a precedent for them protecting their own, that it could just be blatant acts of murder and blatant.
Automatic.
Just the most crazy thing on video, and just like the benefit. Like, do you know the coroner's report from the county?
Oh, dude, I
said
saw
nothing
that.
about asphyxiation.
Yeah, they didn't even mention that there was because there was no bruise on the back of his neck. It couldn't be that bad.
Yeah, they're lining it up to dismiss.
Yeah.
They're all lining it up. Everybody
of course-
plays their part
and of
such
course
that the cop
the
walks.
coroner's office gets their money from the
The administration,
Yeah.
like it's all tied together.
Yeah.
They didn't bring it up once, and then an independent one was like, "Yeah, he died of asphyxiation." It's
Yeah.
pretty clear. I mean, there's a video of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that would kill most people.
how do you take that to? How can you take that to a jury and have that guy walk out? He can't walk out, but he's gonna go to prison. He's gonna die in prison. That's what's gonna happen,
Let's hope,
bro. He's like.
well, this is
If he gets acquitted, it'll be like some war scenario.
This is the other thing, though, is when you talk about prison, because the prison system isn't set up to be fair at all. It's set
He'll
up
go to
be,
a cop one because
it's
he's
set
a cop.
up to be subjective. Particularly, not only. It's not even about him. It's not even about him. It's about the system designed to make sure that whoever can force what outcome based on what. It's not about the truth. It's about subjectiveness. Is it because if you do law, a lot of laws are open to interpretation.
Yeah, it's the point of a lawyer.
Right, it's about the lawyer. Right, it's about the point of view of the lawyer and the point of view of the judge, and then whatever they can make you see. Do you ever watch this documentary on Netflix, How to Fix a Drug Scandal?
No.
It's about 2 drug labs in Boston, I think, or in the New Hampshire area, something like that. And one of the techs, she was getting high on meth every day. She was stealing meth from the seized. Like meths that's seized out in the street. She's stealing meth from that. She's testing
This is a tech.
This is one of the lab techs. She tested over 30,000 samples. And they're like, all of these samples, all of her testimony has to be thrown out because she was just lying up and down, like a lot. And then another girl, she was not testing any of the samples. She was just coming in with the police report says, we think it's this. And she would just say, yeah, it is. And she would never test it. She would just put it into evidence. And there's like... They're like, we have no idea how many things she tested, how many stuff she lied.
How many people are the amount
How
of
many-
accumulated years of sentences
Yeah.
are a result of her just trying to avoid paperwork and like her job.
We can't throw all of this back out. It's just like the system is designed to be barbed. It's designed to be a one-way valve. There's this thing about this guy who was in prison, and the actual killer came forward, was convicted, went to prison, and they didn't clear this guy. This guy still spent another 10 years in prison, even though they knew.
Actually?
Yeah, even though they totally knew that he did not do it. But they're just like, it's not designed. You're already here. There's no mechanism set up for us to just clear your name. We can't just say sorry and take you back. The system
10
has
more
to-
years he stayed?
Yeah.
Black dude, I'm assuming?
Yeah, of course.
And then at the end, they give him like $80,000 in his like little lawsuit.
I think it was more than that.
Yeah,
just
it's
because,
always a lot.
It went public.
Yeah,
is the thing.
It'll be
And,
like even if it's even if it's $10 million,
Yeah,
bro.
who cares?
What did he do before the 10? Before that guy came forward?
I can't remember. It was something.
Because I've seen stories of
No, it
people
was something
been in like 16 plus years.
No, yeah, it
mistakenly.
was something like DNA wasn't big then, so it's like in
I think
the
this might have been
80s.
the same story.
It maybe.
Yeah. Well, he did 20 plus years.
Something like that.
And he
yeah,
got like 1.5 million or
total.
something like
Yeah,
that.
there's a movie about it, I believe.
That's
and,
fucked.
And to me, that's systemic. That's proof
Yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah.
systemic.
That's like
breakage
slavery,
Right there.
if that's not-
That's straight up slavery. That's debtor's prison without the debt. You know what I mean? And whenever I see stuff like that, I'm always like, but you guys know this is wrong, but everyone's just doing their job. You know, it's that beginning of fascism, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Where people are like, no, this is what I was told to do. It's legal, so I'm gonna do it. I'm a good person, so therefore I cannot be part of this evil mechanism.
Yeah, but the accumulative uselessness of these people lead to someone at the end of the trail getting fucked.
not just one person, but like entire communities.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're talking about like legal defenders and the number of cases they have and the whole system, how they don't.
The Wire fucked me up so much, man.
Did they show that in The Wire?
They showed some of that. They tried to paint all the cops in this good light, but they're all
because Baltimore police force is the worst in the states.
They're all striving to do something as part of their job, and they're all trying to get something out of it to get somebody off their back, and that other person has a boss who's that's when I thought about it in this layered sense, it started to make more sense why so much of the justice system and the police departments are the way they are is because
people treat it like a 9 to 5.
because it's set up capitalistically. Almost.
People just run it like a business. You know what I mean? Just how you would be doing like
there's no compassion involved.
Just like Dunder Mifflin, but instead of selling paper, your whole business is like prison related.
There's
like,
some pushback against Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now, man.
Oh, no way.
Because people are like, they're showing cops in like this goofy light. They should write a new season where they all get fired and they all end up working at a 99-cent store, and so they never have to change the name of the show.
That's hilarious. That's a bit. That's a bit right there.
No, I saw that online. I'm like, that's brilliant. But I'm like, because we've had,
bro. I feel like last 2 episodes, I defended cops to some degree.
Yeah,
I was like, not all cops are bad. Not all cops are bad,
I get
right?
that.
And now you got videos surfacing left and right of like cops doing like hugging the protesters. But there's so many
I don't
videos.
think the cops are bad as people.
No.
The cops
as a group,
are bad as an organization,
as a mentality in the group. When they go out mindset, as like an anti-riot effort, and they're in a straight up gang mentality, that shit's just violent as fuck. Did you watch that video of them pushing down that old white dude?
That one was
He's just bleeding from the head or the ear.
He was trying to return the helmet. And I was like, you guys can clearly see that.
I know, and he's white hair, and he's got a mask, and he's a frail old dude, and they just push him, and the one dude had a little bit of remorse, and he kind of looked down, and he just kept walking.
And then they're like,
no, do not engage.
They're like, no, you don't help him. I'm going to call someone to come help him. How is that part of your mandate?
Yeah,
is
exactly.
that protect and serve? That
right,
no
you
sense.
have to, like that one, you have to provide aid.
Yeah.
When you assess that someone requires aid, but like based on police training, you have to provide. But maybe riot mode is some weird war engagement rules.
Here's because I had a Toronto comic hop into one of my statuses talking about you guys. If the police were gone, there was nothing for you to complain about. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no one's calling for you an end to the idea of authority in a city. People are calling for an end to the militarization of a police force. We have an occupying force right now. These guys all have huge guns. They're getting riot gear in vans and buses, but we couldn't even get masks for the hospital a couple of weeks ago, right? Britain has no guns. They have a friendly police system. They have way less deaths. They have similar crime.
Just the way they approach crime in Europe is very different too.
Yeah.
Like I noticed it in
but America is all about that straight to prison, man. It's all about prison.
America's all about like I was saying this before. The American cop cars.
Yeah.
Dark.
Oh yeah.
Dark. They hide in the night. They want to catch you when you don't know they're around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to sneak up on you when you think you're not being watched. In Europe, the cop car's fluorescent.
Yeah.
You see them from a distance, so you stop fucking around. It's just a totally different psychology. Here, they want to get you.
Yeah.
They want a motherfucker to go down. There, they want to be like, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
Behave.
Yeah.
Here, it's like, get him. You know what I mean? Like in the night.
Sneak up on you.
Sneak up on you. Like, you know, it's fucked.
And they don't realize that they are furthering the efforts of crime by doing this because criminals got to stay one step ahead of you. They got to.
It's like criminalizing all the drugs. Like look at the Netherlands. You know what I mean? There's a huge period where it's gonna go weird for let's say a decade. But like when you go to Amsterdam, the teens they're not like weed.
Yeah, no one's doing that
It's
here.
been so long that those things are all accessible that no one cares. Like
people don't care.
Like if the drinking age got dropped to 17 in Canada, there'd be a lot of fucking alcohol poisoning cases and stuff for a decade, 5 years, whatever you want to call it. And then the equilibrium
But
shifts back.
here's the thing. What would we do if we dropped the age and we took some of that money from the cops who are spending so much time? If we drop that drinking age, right, to 17, and we took a lot of that money from the cops, what could you then do? You could put a lot of money into the social programs that help people that deal with alcoholism, right? And now you have a structure for that program to help people throughout their life. We were talking about, I was talking to my friend about Portugal, and they're like, oh, really? All drugs are legal? Like, yes. And the people who do have a problem just seek help.
Aid. Yeah, they have it. They don't just go to prison with like withdrawal.
That same girl in the lab tech, she was getting addicted to meth because she wanted to do her job because her manager was on her back. That's why she started doing meth, is because it was giving her a boost throughout the day.
She was getting everything done.
And then she had to keep hiding it because, of course, now it's illegal. She's just going to go to jail. There's no way for her to seek help because there's no mechanism to make sure that she won't be judged so harshly.
There's no way for her to get clean and keep her job almost.
At all.
Right?
And there's no way for her to keep her health insurance that she needs for her son because there's no universal health insurance down there. Right? So it's a cycle that makes sure that the worst come out in people. You know what I mean?
Wow. I never thought of it like that, bro.
Yeah.
But hopefully they expedite the hearings on these motherfuckers.
I don't think there's going to be...
Because, like Atlanta, do you see those, like, 2 teens that got rushed by those 6 cops in Atlanta?
Oh, no.
They just, like, these riot cops pull up to this car. Get the fuck out. They don't even know what's happening. These 2 kids in there.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? They, like, broke the window, tased the chick.
Oh, fuck.
They broke the guy's arm pulling him out of the car.
Yeah. And I'm always like, why, though?
Yeah. But Atlanta is, like black dominant, especially in the leadership.
Yeah.
They fucking made, like, bro, they made pariahs. They charged all 6 immediately.
Yeah.
Just to be like, yo, America, look. When cops fuck up, they go down.
Yeah.
Like, those guys, no matter what they did in this moment, they were going to get charged right away.
I think that's... I don't have an answer for the dismantling of the current, structure that is types of police. And, like, I have a whole different relationship with the police as well, being from a third world country, that a lot of our policing techniques and equipment comes from America, right? Because we had our political system destabilized by America back in the 60s, right? And we're still living pretty much under that, that guidebook, right? So we still have, like, death squads and shit. Like, that still totally is happening.
What's a death squad?
A death squad, it was pretty big in the 90s where a political opponent... Yeah, this is real. Where a political opponent would speak out a little too much, and then, he would get a visit from a truck full of guys in black gear. And there was a lot of shootouts, like in the early 2000s, where this guy who was on, drug dealer's payroll kind of like turns around or doesn't do what that drug dealer wants.
Yeah.
And a drug dealer who is supported by someone in government who's getting direct money, he's getting support. He gets the go-ahead to go and fuck this guy's house up. And so the government escort that normally is with him, they're not there today.
Oh, right? Some of that Epstein jail cell shit.
That Narcos type shit is what that is. Because we're in South America. A lot of that shit from Colombia has to come through us.
But that Epstein shit showed you that there's no limit to where that can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you start dealing with enough blackmail, enough money, enough, like, high-powered people that could get dismantled, anything is possible.
Where people get desperate enough as well, too, right? Like, not everybody forgets about this, but people are like, there's people in American government and British government and everywhere that are just like, I can't handle the pressure of this thing, and I will resign or commit suicide. Those two things
one of the two.
Those 2 things are two. And there's a guy, I'm listening to an episode about him now, who did both. He resigned.
I hope, And he suicided and then resigned. Because it was in his contract that suicide would automatically default in resignation.
He resigned, and they were still trying to subpoena him to testify. And he's like, well, not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just hang myself.
Not going to do that. Not going to go to jail. I'm gonna stuff a bottle of pills down my throat. And that's insane. And he's not the only one, of course. You know what I mean? Like, I burned through all of Narcos, and that's not even the whole story, what they're showing in the episodes, about how this one guy in Mexico comes up from, like, to be a humble farmer, and then within, like, 12 years, he's fixing the national election. Like, that is the sort of shit that is happening in
South America. I love it.
All over the world, though. That's still happening in America today.
But that's the dream, baby. That's not what the dream is.
It kind of is, right?
If you're not fixing elections 12 years into your agriculture career, what was it all for?
The only reason that the only reason that is the dream is because there's no other avenues. The other dreams are pale in comparison because the system makes sure that the only way to get out is by getting under. You know what I mean? By being underhanded, by making sure, like, capitalism pushes you to do
honesty is not going to take you anywhere.
No. It's morally good, but it's not actually going to get you anything.
Thank God we're in Canada, at least, bro.
I mean, I have to laugh at that, but like, yeah, we're doing.
Where we got Serb, yeah, bro, we got it
pretty well.
pretty good in the face of this whole COVID and thing.
That's what I'm saying. I really hope that they make this Serb thing an election issue for sure.
This weekend, by the way, I saw that they boarded up all the Eaton Center and everything.
Yeah,
They're seeing a riot coming.
Yeah,
they're seeing protests.
There was a
coming.
protest
I'm probably gonna go out this weekend.
Today. There was a protest scheduled for today, and then last.
Did it finish
minute,
already?
No, last.
Can I make
minute,
it? Just book it.
Dude,
I'm booking. Everyone's leaving,
minute,
guys. I come with a
last minute,
guys.
I saw people talking about how this is not a real sanctioned BLM protest. This is rioters organizing a protest so they have a protest that they can be in to go loot and to discredit. They organize the protest.
Oh fuck! Sounds like rubber bullets galore, bro.
Yeah. So now we're talking 1984 doublethink type shit. It was like you don't know who really to trust. There's double agents everywhere. It's like I wish I could be funny about this kind of shit, but I'm just not.
Well, I thought it was a regular protest. I was gonna go, but I mean, we'll see. I still want to go. But I don't want to go into some fucking line of fire at people just robbing shit.
Yeah,
and people just getting blasted with rubber bullets and tear gas.
particular people that I know are doing that work to make sure what's real, and they're close to the actual originating community and stuff like that. I pay attention to their Facebook in times like.
And they didn't say anything about it.
They posted. They were like,
so it's happening.
No, they posted. They're like, don't go to this.
Oh, word. Yeah. Okay.
They're like, don't go to this.
Well, I'll trust your trusted people, bro. Yeah. Fuck. Anyway, at the end of the day, I've already been tear gassed, bro, so I can handle it again.
For real?
Boot camp, you have to be tear gassed. You have to go through a controlled tear gas.
I get that. I get that. Yeah.
That's what it is,
How
bro.
was that? Is that real fucking...
Oh, some people love it. Some like the fucking adrenaline junkies love it. Bro, it right away.
Yeah.
2 seconds of exposure.
I got tased
every
one time and that was crazy.
Liquid comes out of your mouth. Everything you're coughing, it's the worst. I've never been tased.
Isn't it like a war crime now though? Like
to be tear gassed?
Yeah, isn't that like it's against some sort of engagement, rules of war type thing or something? Or no?
Tell all the U.S. forces in the States it's happening right now. I don't think so. Tear gas is like it fucks you up. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like
you're done for the day.
You're getting like pepper sprayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done for a couple hours. You're not really done for the day unless you get it real bad. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, but yo, bro, we've done about an hour 15, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. Plug what you want to plug. As always, I'll put your TikTok, all of your shit, your handles. I'm gonna put them in the description, so don't worry about those.
Yeah, that's been pretty big right now. What's
some of the virtual
up?
shit?
Virtual shit, I do have a show happening next Friday on the 12th. I'm doing with it's a comedy fundraiser. It's a fundraiser for Food Bank Toronto as well.
12th of June.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing that. That's an all-black lineup. I'm going to be hosting, so make sure you check that. I'm going to post it on my Instagram, so make sure you check that in the bottom. And I post a video every day on my TikTok and my Instagram, so make sure you check that as well.
Every day on his TikTok and his Instagram. Check that shit out. And I already plugged the whole follow thing at the beginning, so I'm going to see how that ends up working. I'll plug it at the end. Subscribe, follow. Yo, check out full videos on YouTube, all right? I have full videos on YouTube. I also put like a bunch of cumulative like TikToks on there. There's stand up on there. There's a bunch of shit. Check my YouTube if you want to support me and my shit. Subscribe to my YouTube page. That's really the home page for like, you know, my whole catalog of everything I do. And as always, if you're out there protesting, you know, stay safe. If you see people looting, get the fuck away from them, because store owners are gonna start blasting. You know, people are blasting from every direction. Some people think that looting is an answer. Like, I don't know. You know, I don't really have the answer in this basement. I'm just saying, stay safe. Hopefully this...
Probably not the best idea for you to go loot. That's all. You know, if you're here to protest...
Well, I mean, either way, I don't think people are listening to this being like, Abbas is going to tell us at the end if looting's okay or not. Yeah. Just stay safe. Do your thing. Let's make a difference. Thanks so much for checking out the Immigrant section. Tell your friends about this. Let's grow this thing. As always, I appreciate y'all. Peace!